Therapy Army! Let's be having you, Therapy Army. Big up to Therapy Army. How we doing, people? Welcome to United Real Therapy. This is the preview, man. Ramadan, Kareem to Mubarak to everybody, really. I hope all your fasting's going well. Those of you who are fasting, big up to everybody. Love and light, liberation always, and free Palestine while we're there as well. Free Palestine always. But big up to everybody. Big game. Like I called this, I said the biggest game of Eric Ten Hag's career at Manchester United tomorrow. The next two games, I think we play Liverpool at the end of the month as well. I think we play Liverpool. So these two big games, boy, oh boy, oh boy. These two games are huge. I don't know what I've done with my phone. There it is. Let me just have a look, see where we're playing Liverpool as well. We're playing Liverpool again very soon. But we've got to start guests tonight. We've got my brother, big up, the man who's responsible with all the badass graphics, all the badass thumbnails. It's Nura Beats, diehard Liverpool. There you can see it on his chest. You know what I mean? And he's going for the quadruple, man. I know he's deviled. Like Hobbs leaving, but he's deviled. But it's on for the quadruple. They are on for that Mickey Mouse quadruple, eh? You're opening it. But big up, man. Ramadan Mubarak to all the Muslims. Yeah, man. Big up Lilas. Big up to everybody. So yeah, no excuses tomorrow. No excuses. Apparently Mount is fit. Apparently Maguire's back. Wan-Bissaka's back. And who else is back?
They are going to be on the bench though.
Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Højlund, Mount. Yeah, 4 players back, so no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. But big up to everybody. We're going to get into it. It is the Manchester United Liverpool preview. 3:30 tomorrow, UK live. And yeah, this one's not for the faint-hearted. We don't need to hype it up. We're just going to have to get into it. So big up, Nura Beats. How you doing, bro? You well?
I'm doing good, man. Team is doing all right.
Team's doing kids, man. You got injuries. Talk about injuries. Yeah, man. The kids are making you proud, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people probably won't know, especially not Liverpool fans, that Klopp grew into trusting the kids, because in the beginning we would play the same 11 or whatever, and if we had injuries, I remember, did you see the season after we won the league when we had all 4 centre backs out? He will play midfielders at centre back, but now he's learned to trust the kids and just throw them in there. After the shit show of that season, he was like, midfielders, what's the difference? Just play players when you have to. Or maybe even because it's his last season, he thought, for a caution to the wind, who cares?
Yeah, he don't care, man. To be fair, I think that kid is he's got Mancunian family. I know that.
Kwanzaa,
yeah, he's from Warrington, but he's got a Mancunian family, because I know a couple of people who are related to him. They're always bigging him up on the socials.
Yeah, he was close. He was close to going to City at one point from Liverpool's academy.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. He's a good player, man. He's a good player. But yeah, we'll see. Big up to you. Big up, Sean. How you doing, Sean? How are you on all the way in California? Is it sunny?
Yeah, it's sunny. It's sunny today. It's actually sunny today. Just like I'm feeling.
What's the temperature?
I mean, like in degree, it's like 60 something. Maybe like 63 or so.
What does that mean in our language?
Oh, in Fahrenheit.
Yeah. So like 16 or something like that. 16.
It's 20. 20 in Celsius.
What?
But 68. So it's warm. It's pretty warm.
It's supposed to be winter over there, no?
No. Like, well, yeah, depending on what part of the country you are. So if you're like on the East Coast, like New York or Boston, it's like snowing or like really cold. But like California, Texas, Arizona, maybe some parts of the Midwest as well.
It's sunny all year round, yeah?
And so for the most part, it's sunny. Yeah, I mean, I think, Liverpool fans are lucky to have Klopp. That whole like final season thing is kind of like a cheat code, basically, like for all of them, like a rallying cry for the whole team. I think Klopp, stands as an example of what happens when you give a manager time to build his system. And I think, unfortunately, he's a victim of the times as well, because I see no reason why he can't just try and build a Fergie-type legacy at Liverpool. But things are so delicate now that, basically it's either success or bust. And he had a troubled season last season. And there were questions around, can he spend more than 7 years at a place? And, and they were comparing to like his previous stints, like, the clubs that he was
The 7-year itch.
before. Yeah, 7-year itch. Yeah, basically. But yeah, now as far as it goes for United, I'm hyped for this game. Like I said before we started, I'm hyped. I like what I'm hearing from Ten Hag. I saw the pictures from the quote unquote night out. It read to me like a desperate manager, but I appreciate that, given the circumstances, like, that United are in right now. He's trying to rally the team. And for me, like, as the game starts, what I want to see first and foremost, like from the moment they blow the first whistle, I want somebody to just run into a Liverpool player, smash into somebody. Even if you get a yellow card, I don't care. The first 30 seconds, the first 1 minute, set the tempo that way. That, like, regardless of whatever party Liverpool is planning, the FA Cup is not their trophy. If I'm willing to concede anything for them, it will be the Premier League, because Arsenal can't win it. So we'll give them that one. But the FA Cup, I think Ten Hag has an opportunity to, salvage something out of the season, and these players as well. So for what it's worth, man, let's go all the way. That's how I'm feeling.
Big up, Bumbaye. Big up to you. Inshallah, God willing, we'll be there tomorrow, me and you, watching it. Bit high up. We've got a nice tactical view as well. I made sure of that. We've got a nice tactical view. To look
Probably
at the
better
shape,
if we
team
can't see
shape,
what's happening.
What's going on. So, exactly. Big up to you. How you doing? How's Ramadan treating you, bro? You good?
Alhamdulillah, yeah, man. Ramadan Mubarak to everybody, and big up the wider audience as well. Tomorrow, I must say, first and foremost, man, absolute shout out to Liverpool and the team that they put out. I've not seen City get a barrage like that before. Second half demolition. They're lucky to escape. They couldn't wait to get out of there. Haaland, De Bruyne were nowhere. So absolute respect. And Konsa, very impressive. Tomorrow.
By the way, I've never seen anybody do that to Pep Guardiola's teams,
Never.
Actually, yeah, I saw Barcelona do that to Bayern Munich when he was at Bayern Munich. When they got what was that one time?
What do you guys mean now? Ole beat Pep team four times.
No, I'm not talking about no.
Not just the win. It's about
Sean, the way, man, that they had the main goal.
Karma, Sean, karma.
I mean, Igalo was stunting on Pep's team. What are we talking about here?
We're talking about literally playing them off the park. If Diaz had his shooting boots on, it would have been like 4-1, 5-1 or whatever. They missed sitters, they missed chances, man. But go ahead, Bombay.
I think tomorrow, man, depending on how it goes, either I'm going to come on to the post-match, and depending on who's on, if we get a destruction, if we get battered, floored, then I won't have much to say. I'd like to hear more what the guys who are advocates to give another season irrespective of anything. I'd like to hear their take on it. I am just going to be chilling tomorrow. If we get something, then great. Do I expect to win this game? No, because we are where we are. And that goes back to the manager, unfortunately. We're not as good as them. But if this game is Liverpool are in another stratosphere, we're just going to get swept aside like we're a bag of shit. I have a problem with this because every week people are talking about standards are low, standards are low. Okay, it's not standards are low. What is your individual expectation for the game? Are they realistic expectations? I think mine are. I'm being fair. I don't expect to win this game, but I'd like to compete. I'd like to be there to be shot at, not just there to be slapped up. So we will see. I don't have major hopes. But we're just going to have to wait and see how this game goes. But this could be a disaster, or could be we could get a nice little surprise. But one thing I'd say about Eric is Erik ten Hag continues and maintains everything is on schedule. The plan is working. The vision is coming together. I do not see it unless the vision is covert MI5 kind of thing. I don't know, but I am not quite understanding. But he's very self-confident and he doesn't give much away. He's calm and the questions come pressing. So that's good. I hope it translates tomorrow. Let's see.
Yeah, big up Mundo. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, not bad. Ramadan Kareem to all.
Yeah, man, to you too, man. Ramadan treating you all right? How are the Rascals? Are they good?
They're good, man. They're good.
Ah, it's good, man. Can't wait to see them. Hopefully, we'll be back in London soon. Big up to you, Mundo. Yeah, tomorrow, me and Bumbai are there. I made sure I got good seats so tactically we could see the different shapes. What's going on? Obviously, as we park the bus against Liverpool's kids. It's going to be a lot of fun in games, but yeah. I mean,
I hope you're packing a first aid kit, bro, with a defibrillator, because you're going to have a heart attack tomorrow watching that game.
Honestly. I can't remember last time I saw it. That's it. It was the Rashford game. It was the Rashford 2 goals game under Jose. That was the last game, that Liverpool game that I was there when United beat them. Last season in the league, I was outside protesting with about 10,000, 15,000 United fans. Me and Saeed and I were outside. We didn't go in. We protested outside. So we didn't go in. We didn't watch that game. So yeah. Big up everybody. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, people. But yeah, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at some of the notes that we made. So let's have a look.
Wait, you know the thing you're doing? You and Boma here, I'm charging the both of you, right, to give the United team the energy that they need, because for me, this game is not about big picture. It's not about the story of Ten Hag or what's been happening leading up to this point. It's not. For me, I'm looking for 90 minutes. Like, I honestly couldn't care less if we play well or if we're able to control the game. I just want to win. And that's like the case I'm here to make today, that for this game tomorrow, that's all that matters, right? And it has to be about what can we get out of 90 plus, 6 or 7 minutes, in a one-time game. What can we do? And I feel like that's a reasonable enough ask for a fan to make from this team.
Sean, do you think it's bro? I want you to know that it's not about right and wrong. We both want what's best for United. It's not. Are you happy with what I said? I'm not even looking for a win, because I don't want to put that kind of pressure on a team to jolt them into that United, which they're not. I'm just saying, at least be there to be shot at, and I will accept it. And we will know by the time the whistle goes if we've lost, but we've been there, we've competed, we've been in the game. I take that. I clap the boys. Win. So you're putting even more pressure than me.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I said literally from the start of that game, from the moment the referee blows the whistle, what I want to see from the team, somebody needs to go and smash into a Liverpool player. Just somebody. And I think that's what Rooney said as well. Just clatter into somebody, take somebody out, set the tempo for the game that we mean business. I think the fans will respond positively to that. And I think we have a huge advantage because the game is at Old Trafford. Like, I'm not trying to make any super tactical case. I don't think the game is going to be won on tactics or game plans. It's going to be about who wants it more. Precisely for 90, like I said, 90 plus minutes tomorrow is going to be about who wants it more, not the tactics or game plan or anything. And I'm fine with getting away with a win like that. And I'm asking everybody to believe.
Yeah,
Can I just say something on that? Just what Sean's just said. Just one little point I disagree on in terms of the tactics. Eric Ten Hag could easily lose this game tomorrow if he does that madness that he's been doing all season. Some bullshit like Wan-Bissaka at left back. Play players in positions that they're comfortable in, right? Don't be coming out with some mad fucking Bruno on the right wing and all this nonsense. Because if I see that in the lineup, I know 100% we've lost.
100%, I agree.
Yeah, I want to see if Wan-Bissaka's fit tomorrow, like Wan-Bissaka right back, Dalot left back, play a double pivot, put Bruno in the 10, put Garnacho on the right, Rashford on the left, Højlund up front. Just keep it simple. Don't try and reinvent the wheel like he's been doing all season, putting guys in mad positions. No, just play the players in the positions they're comfortable in to give us at least a bit of a chance. Because if he doesn't do that, we've got no chance, zero chance. That's my view anyway.
No, Rabi, how are you looking at the game tomorrow?
It's gonna be tough. Like it doesn't matter where United are in the league or how they're playing. They typically do raise their game against Liverpool, as you saw early in the season at Anfield, where they dug in and actually played quite well defensively, where they just packed up the box and basically suffocated Liverpool, gave them no space to do anything. So if United come with that game plan, as well as adding maybe like a threat on the counter, because we do play a relatively high line, and if you've got Rashford and Garnacho running in behind, and if Højlund is back, I can see you guys giving us issues. But the key is you got to pick your times. You got to pick your time, and Liverpool are good at taking advantage whenever a team, like sometimes Liverpool lull you into a sense of, oh, you're on top, and then they'll hit you on a dirty counter, or we'll hit you on a 15-minute spell where we can get 2 or 3. So it's going to be interesting. Big up Saeed, I can see. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I'm not taking it lightly, honestly. It's at Old Trafford. You got to respect that. The key is how well United start. The first goal is probably going to be key in this game.
Interesting. Listen, to me, tomorrow's game, I don't think it's going to be about blood on thunder and thrust and being smashed into and smashing into somebody. I think it's going to be quite tactical. I expect us to sit back. To be fair, Liverpool they're not about possession team, but they know how to hurt you, how to open you up. I expect maybe Liverpool. Is Trent back tomorrow? No, is he back?
No, he's back after the international.
There we go. So let me just get into the notes. So Manchester United reckon, I believe Rasmus Højlund will be fit enough to feature against Liverpool in the FA Cup quarter-final. Højlund scored 8 goals in 8 matches before the muscle injury ruled him out United's past 4 fixtures. Defender Harry Maguire and Bissaka are likely to return. He said, this quote from there. He said, "We have one more training on Saturday, and we'll see how they'll recover." FA Cup is United's only hope of silver this season, the 6th in the Premier League, with 17 points behind second place Liverpool. Rashford could be a part of the project, he was saying on the thing. We'll come up to that a little bit. Same games. He said he's talked to us about the games, and some games are bigger than the others. I think Manchester United against Liverpool is always the big game. I look forward to it. Ten Hag added, it's such a games we always have to achieve good performance. I don't think it's really highly rated game that we had any lows. They're very consistent. We need to be our best to beat them. Liverpool manager club says Salah will be available. Fixture having recently recovered from a muscle injury. Egyptian winger scored more goals for Liverpool against United. Club 12, 13 and 13 appearances. Most pure quality. Club said, asked him if he likes them the most, Manchester United. But more we'll talk about it. It's less likely will happen again. Exceptional guy, world-class player. How we dealt without him was unbelievable. Club added that Ibrahim Kanate is in doubt, while Curtis Jones, Jota and Trent Alexander, who have not played since February, will not return until after the international break. I don't know that much about their season, but I saw some really good games, said Club. They had some injury problems, but a lot of quality. Maybe Højlund have a game tomorrow. Juan Bissaka is close. That obviously makes a difference, as well as we'll see on Sunday. It will always be tough place to go for us. It means everything to both fans, and we know that. Well, not recently, my friend, but we'll see tomorrow. So there's the bit of the notes, people. Jarvis, how you doing? Big up to Jarvis. Our man,
big up.
Our Norwegian Viking in the north of Norway. How was the temperature saying over there, man?
Now it's good. It's good. It's good. Now we are in middle of March, so now everything is finally normalizing. So, but it's not spring yet, but it's not as much snow as it was just a couple of months ago, and it's not minus 30 degrees anymore. It's just a couple of minus degrees, and in the daytime it's plus. So it's good. It's good.
Yeah, man. Big up Saeed. Saeed, listen, Saeed's got a bad leg, right? He's got a badly swollen leg. But big up Saeed. Saeed's going to be there limping with his crutch tomorrow, going to the game with his crunch.
That's
Saeed
the
is
energy
coming
we
out
need,
of
man.
bed,
That's
you
the
know what
energy.
I mean, in Ramadan. He's coming with his crutch, you know what? Going all the way up those stairs into the stadium. It's not going to be easy. And if honestly, I'm telling you that if you see a crutch thrown into the behind the goal, if you see a guy on the pitch, you know that's from Saeed. If you don't go,
Make sure he doesn't get overexcited like he did with his match reaction where he ripped down all his photographs and shit.
yeah,
Not
man.
with a bad foot. Not with a bad foot anyway. You don't want to bust up the other one.
No, honestly, Saeed. Honestly, I'm telling you now, if United win, he was coming out. He's gonna need 2 crutches to come down those stairs. I'm telling you. You know how crazy he goes. Honestly, he puts everything into this. Listen, it's gonna be a big game, man. Big up to everybody. Please smash a like on the video. Nearly 200 of you in here. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel, share. You know what? We're trying to get to 10K, and we're shadow banned. We are, you know, some people don't even are getting absolutely unsubscribed. Some people can't see when we're live, so please let people know that we're live. Use your social media to let people know. But big up to everybody. For me, the biggest thing what I'm going to see tomorrow is aggression, intensity, and I want to see United play with some courage. That's what I want to see. I don't mind losing. I'm not asked about losing football games. It's about how you lose. I don't want to see any cowardly defending at the edge of our area, defending all game. I don't want to see that Liverpool coming to Old Trafford and dictate the play. I want people get in people's faces, but I think tactical-wise, we're dead because Liverpool creates so many chances. Everton had 22 shots on Manchester United. Average in the past, in some about 8 or 9 games this season, we've given more than 20 shots to most teams. And Liverpool do not need that. Liverpool score goals. They score goals. And honestly, the fact that they've got Jota out, they've got Trent out, they're the 2 big players. Who else have they got out, Nurabi?
Konate.
Alisson. Look how many players they've got. Alisson, Konate, Trent, Jota. Curtis, who's been playing well. Curtis Jones, who's been playing well for you lot. A senior player now. Yeah. So, honestly, and then people moan about it. I already put it to bed about this Manchester United injuries. I did a show on Monday, and I looked at statistically where Manchester United injury crisis have been, and Manchester United are 5th in the table of injuries. Newcastle have had the worst injuries. Then it's Brighton. Then it's Brentford. You know what I mean? Then it's Sheffield United. Mm-hmm. No, then it's Chelsea. Then it's Sheffield United. And then it was Spurs, just a little bit underneath us. Spurs are very close to each other. So this idea of, we got injuries, missed me out with that.
No, but Nuruddin, what stats is that? Total number of injuries, like total number of matches missed, games missed by injured players. Like what specific stats are you referring to?
That's what it was. It was a total number of players missed by the days that they've missed this season. Total put together. And Manchester United is 979. The Spurs were 949, if I'm not mistaken. But Newcastle and Brentford and Brighton were in the 1000s. They were into the 1000s. So missed me out with that. Missed me out with this. All because we can't pass the ball to each other. We can't keep hold of a ball because of these injuries. Missed me out with that. I've already statistically proven it. Those of you who are stat merchants, we've already proven that. Manchester United are 5th in the league. 5th or 6th in the league in terms of
out of the players that are injured, right? How many of them are actually, other than I can only think of Shaw and Martinez that will come back and come into the first team. So I don't know why this injury thing, why people are putting so much focus on that, because Eric Ten Hag, in terms of the players available, it's starting 11, most of them are available. There's only two guys not available. So that can't be an excuse tomorrow because you haven't got 2 players that the team is crap. I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy that. If the team does not perform tomorrow, then yeah, that will be the players, because the players have got to play for the badges against Liverpool, our biggest rivals. But also, you need to look at the manager. What is he doing to get these guys ready for the game? We haven't got Europe. We haven't got any distractions, any cup competitions. You've got a whole week. to train with these guys,
Yeah,
whatever.
they played Thursday as well, you know.
When?
Well, Liverpool
in the
just played
Europa
on
League.
Thursday, didn't they?
Yeah, Liverpool. Yeah, exactly. Liverpool have had a game. Liverpool have got a distraction. Liverpool are in 4 competitions. So, you know, if they come and play us off the bat tomorrow, then the writing's on the wall. I mean, it already looks that way anyway. But for me, that would be the biggest red flag ever. If Man United cannot turn up for a game against a team that's depleted, have played on Thursday. They're our biggest rivals, and it's the only competition that we can realistically win. And if they can't be asked tomorrow, then things are far worse than I even imagined.
Yeah,
If we're talking about,
listen, the biggest thing for me, what I'm going to want to see tomorrow is I want to see a team with cohesion. And that's what I'm saying. I'm sick of the excuses. I personally believe, you can disagree, and I can ask you, all of you, I personally believe this is Erik Ten Hag's biggest game because Manchester season is over. The season is done. Nothing to play for other than chase this 5th, whatever, BS. So for me, this is the season. Manchester United saved their season when Liverpool are chasing under 2 trophies, if I'm not mistaken. They already won back 1. They're chasing 3. So can we stop Liverpool from winning a quadruple? Can Erik Ten Hag rescue anything of this season? But I'll go to Jarvis first, and then we'll go down on this. Go ahead, Jarvis. I believe this is his biggest game of his Manchester United tenure.
Yeah, it's a big game, you know. Liverpool, we all saw them against Manchester City. What I fear tomorrow is their work rate, their midfield with McAllister, Sloboslai, and this guy Endo. They can run all day long, and you know they don't usually play the old 4-3-3. Jurgen Klopp has been trying a little bit more of the box midfield now because they have this young kid Elliot coming into this midfield and provide more capacity, more work rate. So we won't see, as we are used to, the fullbacks coming around and constantly crossing in. I heard, for example, Steve Housen talk about this today, and he's completely right. So for me, tomorrow the game is on the midfield battle. It's important that Casemiro meets up and actually has legs. He's been looking really tired lately. And Mainu, you know, but we can't.
Everybody looks tired because of Erik Ten Hag's tactics, because the way we leave gaps and then we run, our players have to run and exhaust themselves. You see it with Garnacho, you see it with Rasmus Højlund. Next one for me to get injured, I'll predict, is going to be Garnacho, because of the way the amount of running that we do, and it's not running with purpose. Actually, it's not running with structural running. It's not the structure, the way he sets his team up for supposed to be a good coach is absolutely. I've seen better Sunday League teams set up than that Erik Ten Hag Manchester United team. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You're completely right. And the setup is one of the biggest problems because Ten Hag go for man marking and high press usually, especially at home. And the problem is when you man mark and go high press. The opposition has four defenders and they only have 3 attackers, so you're 1 man short. So Bruno has to fill the gap, so you get 4 against 4, and then one of the pivot needs to fill up when their midfielders drop down to receive the ball. Suddenly Casemiro is all by himself in the midfield. So and usually other teams, they solve it by pressing with 3 guys, but they use the winger to go inside. So they go 3 against 3 on one side and leave the opposition fullback open on the other side. But we don't do that. We always go man to man. And this is a big problem because we overcommit when we go forward. And that always leaves us out with being too little people in the middle central area, because our press play is so bad. We have players like Rashford and Bruno. They don't angle their runs. They
shadow
don't
presses.
Yeah,
the shadow presses.
They don't angle their runs. They don't cut the passing lanes. They just run directly at them, try to win the ball. And this is a big problem because you get easily overplayed by the opposition. So again and again, we see this and it exposes our midfield. So tomorrow we need to be patient. We need to do our press play correctly. And we need Ten Hag needs to tell the players how to press. We can't overcommit with so many people up front, because then Liverpool will be deadly, you know. And we know they have great players with a lot of work rate, and even when you mentioned the shots conceded, and we will have a lot of long range shots, and they have good players in McAllister and Szoboszlai, especially firing away those long range shots. So we got to be careful tomorrow. But you know, it's Liverpool. It's a, I don't know if you guys call it the derby, but at least it's a
It's the biggest game in English football.
rivalry.
It's the biggest
Yeah.
game in English football.
It is.
Yeah,
it
it's the
is.
biggest
So
rivalry.
so the
It's the
players
biggest
just
game in
need to
English
give it
football.
all, and of course we can win. But I'm not very optimistic. I said yesterday I give us like a 25% chance for winning.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, Nora. From Liverpool's point of view, it's a big game for you lot, going for this quadruple, obviously sending Klopp on his merry ways with a clean-up and all the trophies that you win. What type of a game are you expecting tactically from Liverpool? Like I said, I've noticed the evolution, which is fascinating for me, observing Klopp throughout the years, has been that he came in, went for the full press, like obviously man for man, very aggressive, almost had three up front who would press, and then the three midfielders who were just nothing about playing through them, but literally pressing, and turned it into gegenpress, the perfect gegenpress with a guy like Bobby Firmino, and then had time to coach the likes of Trent and the left back to basically to be able to play it differently. Then he went away from that when you got rid of the Wally Allen and then brought in Thiago, played more technical football through, and then obviously stepped up more of the pitch. But now he's gone to the box, this box midfield, and especially with Trent, coming inside, and I've seen it like continuously. And the way that you dealt with, especially in the second half with Man City, with that box midfield, was incredible. Like Liverpool, they couldn't live with you. You know what I mean? They could not live with you. Where you had Szoboszlai and Elliott, and then you had McAllister and I forget his name, Hendo, where you had this square where you just on top of them, like win that ball back, the fight, the strength. Elliott, honestly, just to watch that kid's progression, how physically imposing he is now, the sense of gravity, it's been an incredible. So we know what kind of game we're going to get tomorrow. Is he going to make many changes, or do you think he's going to pick a strong team tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll pick a strong lineup that we've got available. But I've noticed as well, as you said, the evolution of Klopp. The evolution I've seen, especially this season, is how he changes things depending on how the first half goes, and he's being a lot more willing to change things than before. Before, he'll just rely on his tried and trusted generals, whether it be Mane, Firmino, Salah, and then it'll be Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Henderson, and they'll do the job for him. But then he realized 90% of the time we'll be playing against a team that's not so dominant in possession, so we'll be having a lot more of the ball. So the evolution came in where we needed a lot more ball-playing players, and it was actually refreshing to hear him say after the Man City game, he said that it was actually the first time his team were able to match Man City in midfield and play them off the park, especially in the second half. And the big kudos to him in that is that McAllister is a big player where he's just so calm on the ball, doesn't things around him doesn't faze him. The play or people's presses is very, very press resistant and is extremely calm on the ball. So he's still working at a high IQ. Szoboszlai is still young. His passing can be a little bit erratic. However, you see off the ball the work he does, the pressing that he creates, the space,
the running into the box, running,
and he jumps into the box a lot. So in the next year or two, you'll see him extremely improve a lot more, because just 22, when he gets to about 23, 24, you'll see those parts of his game refined a little bit. But yeah, with United, obviously the counter will be a thing that we'll be looking out for. Try and minimize those with good counter pressing. But one thing I've realized about Man United, especially this season, some of the big games I've watched them play, is they're pressing. When they press, I feel like it's like a passive press where they're not really
On this
going.
channel, we call it shadow pressing, bro.
Yeah.
Shadow.
Yeah, exactly that. They're not there to. It's just to, I don't know. It looks like it's there to show that we're running, but we are trying to get the ball. But you're really not. There's no like an intention to get the ball off the player or push him into a dangerous zone. Or there's triggers. For example, I know Liverpool got triggers where if it's Wan-Bissaka on the ball, that's a trigger because we know he's not really good on the ball. So we push him, pressure him, put him in a situation where he actually loses the ball, and then the counter press will be our number 10 in that situation. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm confident. And I'll probably go with the Jarvis's ratings with regards to 75% chance for Liverpool win it in open play. I don't know. Does it go straight to penalties if it's a?
No, it's extra time.
Extra time.
Is it? I think it might be. No.
I think
did they put the extra time? Did they put the extra time?
I think it's straight pens. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And if it is, then we'll see who's the better keeper, Onana or.
Don't worry, Onana's terrible at penalties, so don't worry. He's terrible. Big up to you though. Big up to DTR Ramadan Mubarak, my man. Big up to you for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you. Nora Beats getting some love from our Steph. Big up Stephanie. And then he says here, I've seen Klopp using rotation triangles as well. Yeah. Listen, to me, one of the best things about Jurgen Klopp is that he sees his teams getting ripped on one part of the pitch or they're getting a lot of pressure. Boom, he changes it tactically. He's on it. He makes so many changes when his team are under the cosh. He reacts. Jurgen Klopp never watches his team get slaughtered. Let's say one team is attacking the right-hand side or the left-hand side, or he sees something in midfield where they're getting played. Boom. He absolutely does not. You know what I mean? He doesn't. The fifth round onwards, extra time and pens. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I think it's extra time and pens. So it'll be. But go ahead, Bumbaye. Bumbaye, do you believe it's Eric Ten Hag's biggest is basically to save his job for next season to get another year if he doesn't win this game? Because we played him twice. We played him in the league, if I'm not mistaken, on the 31st. Is that? I think it's the 31st. This month. So we've got Liverpool at home twice within a month. It's going to be very, very tricky. But yeah, Manchester United have nothing to play for this season if he doesn't win this one.
Gents, how I feel about things with Man United.
7th of April. It's the 7th of April we played them, sorry. Liverpool. Yeah.
Is that if tomorrow is, 5, 4, 5, 6, one of those what we have all envisaged, then I'm very interested to see what that looks like in the aftermath. Sometimes I feel when I listen to the players speak, it seems as if Eric Ten Hag, according to the players, by the way, is doing a lot of unseen work to really get things going from grassroots to make the link all the way to the pitch. Now, I can only go off what I see on the pitch. So if tomorrow is like that, then really you've got to ask people that are advocating for a third season irrespective. So that, to me, there is an element of blind faith to it. Now, me, myself, I've always said whether it's a player that's asking for a run of 5, 6, 7 games, I don't believe in those things. I believe you don't get that in today's game. You have to earn that. I believe a manager has to earn the right to have another season. At the moment, if things just end in a stupor, we reach the finish line and, we're not fifth, we're not playing well, results are here nor there. I don't know how to quantify an argument to say, yes, another season, because I have some standards still. I expect to turn up tomorrow. When I say shot, I mean, I don't want 4, 5, 6 terrible performers there in another stratosphere. It can't be acceptable, man. Now, the fact that we're saying that could happen is an indictment in itself on the current, everything that's gone before up to this point. We should not be speaking in this way. So for me, tomorrow, I don't know if it's a disaster. I don't know. Is there repercussions, or is Erik Ten Hag doing something that I can't see that merits a third season? I'm a fan. I just watched the pitch. I can only tell you from what I've seen, I'm exhausted because the football is not really watchable. It's horrible. I feel subdued whenever I watch United, and I'm tired of that. I've not even gotten into the results. I'm a fair guy, man. I'm not here to be proven right. I'm not bothered. At times I've said, yeah, give him more time. Then I've said no, out. But my main issue, fellas, is I'm just tired of this football, and I've been going along with it, rolling with it since since last year. And this year, all I was expecting was now we're going to see Erik Ten Hag football this year. We're going to see a development in the team. Injuries or no injuries, okay, fine. But whether the players are there, whether the players are not there, yes, they make a difference. Martinez does, Luke Shaw does, Højlund does. Of course they do. They're good players, much better than who comes in. But the functionality of the team, what it plays, whether it's against Burnley, you remember the Burnley games, the Luton games, all of these teams are causing us a lot of problems. And I'm coming on here every week and I'm trying to pick the positives. I really am, because I always back managers, but at the moment it's a struggle. So all I'm interested in tomorrow, if we win and it's great, you know what I'm like, whether it's League Cup, Europa League, I love it all. I'll come on here and say absolute big it up. But my fear is if it's not that, and if it's absolutely awful, then you really need to speak to the guys that are saying he has to have a third season irrespective. And I'll be eager and interested to hear why.
Come by Mundo. For me, it's the biggest game of his tenure. It's simple for me. Because I think in terms of certain people, what the result is, for me, it's about the performance tomorrow, more than about what the result is. But obviously, if he gets the result, then he's got that in his locker, because obviously majority, a lot of us were always said, Mundo, when we were growing up, that we didn't give this 1-2 games in the season, we didn't care how we played, long as we beat Liverpool. And so there's that still mentality still. But this season, the football we've played, Mundo, I swear to God, I've seen, you know what, I've gone to FC United game, and FC United play better football than Manchester United. Some Sunday league teams play better than football than Manchester United. So the football has been woeful. And you know what, I always said, miss me with all those excuses. Me and you actually wanted this guy more than anybody in our group, you know what I mean? Those who all grew up together, most don't know, but you know what I mean? Me and you were singing his praises. I think this guy is the biggest catfish in the history of football. What he's done, or what he's doing, is I just don't get it. I see nothing in it. I see he can't set up a prop team structurally to be able to be hard to beat, even when you've got injuries. We get opened up right, left, and center. He leaves Casemiro on his own. In this league, in the type of football you play, Casemiro on his own, in that single pivot, gets murdered. I see even lately that he doesn't want to play through midfield. So I see Kobe just up and down, and getting tired and getting subbed off. So honestly, there's nothing for me to see to think this guy deserves another season. This guy needs to get his P45 for me. But I want 7 or 8 of the players gone as well. But unfortunately, I don't think Manchester United can do that. They shouldn't do that. They should do that, but they don't want to do that. And then now you've got him talking about, Rashford can stay. Listen, I think Rashford, for the best of Rashford, he needs a fresh start. But in terms of the game tomorrow being the biggest game of his tenure and what you think might happen, big up to you, bro. Go ahead.
No, I agree with your take. I think it is his biggest game. I know we've played finals and, we've played in, big European games against Barcelona and things like that. But I think the reason why it's his biggest game is because he's basically auditioning for his job, isn't he? So for him, it is his biggest game. And if he flops tomorrow badly, because that Manchester Derby performance was absolutely disgraceful. And if we get another performance like that against Liverpool, now, reasonable fans can accept that at this present moment in time, Liverpool are a better team than Man United. But being the better team doesn't really matter in these types of games. We've seen it over the years. We've seen our team go to Anfield and play against awful Liverpool teams and get turned over. The same. We used to go and play at Main Road and the Etihad against Kevin Keegan's Man City and get battered, right? Even though we had much better players. So it's about the team turning up tomorrow. If the team does not turn up tomorrow, then, that for me is like the end of the road. That is the final nail in the coffin. If they cannot be bothered to turn up tomorrow, and not to harp on about history, but also remember the FA Cup final. Because this is not just about beating Liverpool. This is potentially stopping Liverpool from winning a quadruple. This is potentially, if we are progressing a competition, stopping Man City from winning a treble. And they've already had the opportunity last season to stop Man City winning a treble, and we flopped. We flopped badly, right? And they went on. We couldn't even protect our 1999 legacy, right? So, in terms of the faith I have in the players turning up tomorrow, I don't have a great deal of faith. And in terms of having faith in Erik Ten Hag, I don't have a great deal of faith either. And in terms of the football we're playing, I just don't understand what it is he's trying to do. Now, the thing is, if we as fans, you can ask any football fan, any not just Man United fans, any football fan, you can ask, you listen to what the pundits are saying. There isn't a single person who can properly articulate the style of football that Man United are trying to play. I would challenge anyone to come and tell me exactly what it is Erik Ten Hag is trying to do. Now, if nobody in the entire world understands it, are you surprised that we get these? I don't even think the players understand what he's trying to do. That, for me, is a real big problem. And you see how he communicates as well. He's not the best communicator in the world. So, for me, there is something fundamentally wrong where whatever he's trying to implement, that message is not getting across to those players, because I'm just seeing chaotic football. And the thing is, our players, especially those that have been there for a long time, they've formed some really bad habits. And what it's just human nature. What you tend to do is, in situations where you're unclear about what the right thing to do is, you will revert to type. You will do the things that are habitual, and that's why you see Bruno Fernandes running around headless chicken. That's why you see Rashford, when he presses, not cutting off passing angles and just running and making it look like he's pressing, and players doing, and McTominay ghosting through games and all the rest of it. Clearly, they're being, you would expect that they're doing something on the training pitch, but we're not seeing it.
He said, Mundo, to me, that's when I was done with him. When he basically said, no, I don't believe in playing the different things in training. I believe in the team playing it through the game. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
So I was like, I'm confused by this because if you
and you know what, he said it twice. He said it twice, Mundo, in different after the games. He says, no, it's about how we play in the game and the patterns that build and the rhythm that builds. I'm like, what?
So when you get injuries like we have this season, so this is why I've got more faith in him, right? Because what he's basically saying is, I can only play. And by the way, he's already come out and said he's abandoned the Ajax style of football. He doesn't want to play like, he can't play like Ajax.
So why the fuck did he buy Anthony then?
Why is it that you've tried to buy Robbie as well, right? Why are you trying to buy half of Ajax squad to say then that you don't intend to play the Ajax style of football? That makes no sense. So that for me is talking BS. This thing about only I like to work with 13 or 14 players. That might have worked
in Holland in this league.
Yeah, you can't. The intensity is completely different. The number of games you play, the number of competitions you win, right? In Holland, you've got the cup competition, the league, and European competition. Here we've got the League Cup as well. The league is intense. I don't know if in Holland if they play over Christmas, but we don't have any form of winter break or anything, right? The league is the players are more powerful, they're quicker, so on and so forth. So you can't rely on 12, 13, 14 players. You need to rely on a squad. That's why Liverpool can have like 10 first team players missing, bring the kids in and still play the same style of football because they're all being coached to play the same way. But if we're just saying, right, we're only going to coach 14 players and it's only going to happen in game, and we're just going to work on tactics during training, and then they're going to implement it during games. What about all the other guys that are coming in? And he brings guys in from the cold, like Ericsson, for example, being one. And fans like get onto Ericsson about, oh, his legs are gone, so on and so forth. But I don't blame the guy. He's been out in the cold for the last 7 or 8 games. You throw him into a game that's physical, where there's massive gaps, and we're expecting him as fans to get across the pitch and tackle and do so on and so forth. And when he can't get up to pace, we're on the players. But for me, I blame the coach and I blame the coaching staff because they should be working with the entire squad. So when I expect guys coming off the bench to be able to just get into the game. There shouldn't be none of this. It takes me 7, 8, 9, 10 games to get up to speed, as you said before. But that's because of the way they're being coached. That's just my take on it. As Bombay said, none of us know what's going on behind the scenes. Apparently,
we do know, we do know. We got some idea what's going on behind the scenes.
It's not, whatever's happening is not good enough. That's one thing we know. Whatever's happening.
The players are confused, Mundo. The players are confused, and they're not happy with the way that how he has favourites, and when it comes to discipline and everything else. Sean, go on, take it away. Somebody's got to be the voice of reason. Somebody's got to pick up the boys and Erik Ten Hag. Go ahead. I'm gonna mute.
I mean, as I'm listening to everybody talk, I'm wondering if Klopp just started coaching yesterday, as if people don't remember the fact that Klopp has had 8 years or so to coach Liverpool, to implement his style of play, not just as an ordinary manager or as a regular guy. Klopp has been a legendary manager for Liverpool, so he's probably one of the most legendary figures in Liverpool's history in the time that he has been there. So I think the comparison, or even a hint of comparison at this stage of Ten Hag's career, is unfair. To make things worse for those who make such an unfortunate comparison, Ten Hag has won more games than Klopp did at this point in his time in his career. And I know, winning doesn't matter to some people, but I think it's a very valid point worth considering. I happen to remember why we hired Ten Hag. I remember how United fans spoke about Ten Hag, all the reasons why we thought Ten Hag was a good manager. I don't agree with the idea that a manager has to fight for his job every season. Basically, there's no type of job or profession anywhere that doesn't guarantee some form of stability because it's necessary for you to be able to do your job. Obviously, if shit really hits the fan, then you can't argue in favor of Ten Hag, but I don't think that's the case. Basically, I'm thinking in 3 to 5 year time spans, basically, and I'm pricing in mistakes in the first few seasons of any manager, especially with the injuries that we had. I think the data the stats that Nuruddin mentioned doesn't reflect, first of all, the fact that there are players who might have some really ridiculous injuries that would have them be out for a very long period of time that can skew the data. And secondly, it doesn't reflect the status of those players that are missing. So it doesn't account for the fact that United had our first starting back four basically missing for large parts of the game. Whatever style of play or system that Ten Hag wants to implement, or that any manager wants to implement, if you don't have your key players do it, or if your key players are not available for a consistent period of time, long enough for you to implement anything, because people will tell you need at least 3 tries of something to try and form a habit. But if you can't build any type of consistency because most of your players are missing, then you're not going to be able to coach the team or get the team to the level you want it to be. Now you could say that going back 6 months, the manager should have rested, players and should have managed the team better. I would agree with that. But again, that's stuff, those are mistakes that I'm willing to accept in the first 2 seasons from a manager, because I don't expect him to be fighting for his job every season. And because I understand that many of these players that we have are cowards. The way I see it, tomorrow, once the whistle blows, basically, the responsibility shifts greatly from Ten Hag to the 11 players that put on the United jersey. There's a massive shift in responsibility, and we have to hold those guys accountable as well. We're going to lose this game. If we're going to lose tomorrow, it's going to be because Bruno was irresponsible with passing sometimes, or that he went into a tackle in a very weak and like a bitch, basically, because Rashford was running around like a headless chicken, because Garnacho was running into blind alleys, because Casemiro was giving away the ball carelessly, in different places. Those are the areas in which we will lose the game. And people have to, I think, give more credit to the responsibility that these players have. What Ten Hag can do, I think, is set up the team, and which I think is going to do, set up the team to win. So if he comes tomorrow and plays Bruno on the right wing, or does something silly, like play Dalot at left back or something like that, or switches the team around in a way that, like, obviously will be detrimental to the team, then sure, yeah, I would come on and say, yeah, the manager fucked up, and he's fighting for his job, no doubt. I agree with everything that most of what people have said. He's fighting for his job, but I think that's because of the atmosphere that exists around the club, and the fact that, like, for example, I saw something on the Daily Mail today that Ten Hag went to the store to buy juice or something. The type of media coverage that United gets is ridiculous. And I think that contributes basically to the noise that we get around the club. I like what I've been hearing from Ineos. It seems like the message that they're giving to him is a reasonable message, that we accept all the extenuating factors that exist, but it matters where we end up this season. That's, to me, a reasonable message to have for Ten Hag, that if you're able to get something out of this season, yeah, let's see you here again next year. Now it looks like 5 English teams can go to the Premier League. I'm fine going as the 5th team. I know there's a lot of pride, in United fans, and I agree with it. I also, watched Sir Alex Ferguson team. Maybe I'm not as old as the other people on panel, but I saw a lot of it. That's what I grew up on. So, like, it's enough for me to fight. And I'm not accepting like a 25% chance tomorrow or nothing like that, because it doesn't matter how we've been playing all season. It doesn't matter. This is an FA Cup game at Old Trafford versus Liverpool. The context, the background, the style of play, none of that matters. It's going to be about who wants a victory more. And I'm saying it's very possible to get these guys fired up for 90 minutes, or not even 90 minutes. So if you can be fired up for 30 minutes, if you can score, and block up for the remaining 70 minutes of the game, go ahead. But for me, I'm looking for a victory. I don't care how we get it. The larger context of the season doesn't really matter to me. It's a game that I want to win, and I feel like United fans should all want to win, and the players too, who are going to be stepping out tomorrow, should want to win more than anybody else, right? So when there's a ball in the air and there's an opportunity for a second ball, I don't want people hiding from tackles. I don't want people hiding from shoulder to shoulder challenges. I don't want people like making stupid decisions when they get to dangerous positions. Like, I want these players to use their God-given brains and play like the highly paid professionals that they are, so that we wouldn't have to come and be wondering if the manager is failing at his job for not being able to open up somebody's head and implant the actual instruction, or guide his leg to pass the ball properly to his teammates. There's a limit to what the manager can do, right? We have to believe, and we have to hold these guys accountable, basically.
Big up.
Oh,
Okay, we're down to 5. Who was up next to give Sean a response?
Can I give a pushback on what Sean said?
Please.
I don't know what happened.
Because I hear this a lot from United fans, where they say,
Nurabeats, big up. Let me just get this super chat.
Yeah,
Guys, be psychologically ready for tomorrow. Remember that we have McTominay, Rashford and co. who are ball watchers. Eric Ten Hag is the game watcher, lacks game management. Don't trust these bottlers. No way. Big up to John A. and all the way in Sweden. Big up to you.
Put some respect on McTominay's name.
Listen, go ahead, Nurabeats. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wanted to push back on what Sean said about giving Eric Ten Hag more time, because Klopp got a lot of time, and it's not like Liverpool just fell in love with Klopp's smile and hugs, and then we gave him time. If I give you the timeline of Klopp, he came in October, I think 2015. Came in October 2015 and took us to a League Cup final and a Europa League final. First full season, he took us to a 4th place finish. Second full season, it took us to a Champions League final. third full season, it took us to Champions League final and lost the league by a point. So these things matter. Like, you know, it's Klopp was giving us something to hold on to, a belief.
But I literally said that Klopp is a legend for Liverpool. I'm acknowledging that Klopp did perform extraordinarily, basically, for Liverpool. If we can get 70% of what Klopp gave Liverpool for the next few years, I'm fine. We're not talking about like, yeah.
I hear that, but I'm saying like with Erik Ten Hag, I'm not sure. Yeah, he got you to a FA Cup final and a League Cup final last season, right? And
third.
And third, yeah. So this season we were supposed to see the push on from that. I know injuries and stuff doesn't help, but what you usually a fan base should see is something to hold on to, something you can pin your hopes on. Like, all right, we're not doing too well, but I can see the vision. I can see where we're going. And
everyone on this panel will tell you that I was the first I will be the first to acknowledge that Ten Hag has made mistakes, right? So in the summer, he made some crucial mistakes that I think are costing United, and I think that's a large part to do with why we're where we are today. Some of those mistakes are man management mistakes. Like I think it was a mistake to get rid of De Gea so soon into his tenure. He was a crucial pillar of the team. I think it was a mistake to bring Mason Mount and play Mason Mount and Bruno.
But look,
these are all mistakes that the manager made that are costing him.
I think.
One second, Bombay. Sean, all due respect, I've got lots of cousins who are big Liverpool fans. I went to University of Liverpool. I got loads of friends who are Liverpool fans. And within 5 to 6 games, everybody was excited. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, what's this?" Within 5 to 6 games. Everybody was like, we could see it. Okay. We could see what this guy's bringing. Remember, they lost finals. They lost games. Remember, they got whacked by Stoke and all these teams. When he first came in, they were getting beat. They had loads of injuries. Nurabi, please tell him the amount of injuries that you had because your players were not used to this Jurgen press.
If you guys are telling me that 6 games into Jurgen Klopp's tenure, everybody knew that he was going to win multiple Champions League, then I can't argue with that.
Look, I think what Nura Beats is saying, do you know what Nura Beats is saying? You look at Erik Ten Hag's body of work. Mistakes have to be accountable. It's not just mistakes. It's a mistake and put it. It's not all about just being dismissive of those mistakes, Sean. The body of work of Ten Hag, as he's saying, I have said many times, there's nothing for you, well, for me, to think I'm going anywhere with this manager because we are regressing as a team. Injuries. You talk about injuries. I'm talking about Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton, Fulham, Everton, getting busted up. We're terrible. We're awful to watch. Klopp took over a team that had barely been a top 5 team for how long? You can see you're going places with the guy. We're not even talking about.
You mean the team that was one Steven Gerrard slip away from a trophy? That
team that had that one season. Otherwise, they are a top 5 team. That's it. That's their level. I don't know. Nura Beats, he can tell me. He's a Liverpool fan. That's what we were looking at.
No, I mean, Nura Beats is going to give us the same revisionist, idea as if we knew, right, that we're going to get this from Jurgen Klopp.
No,
I'm not saying we should discard his mistakes.
No, bro.
No. Klopp made a lot of mistakes. I'm not saying the mistakes. I'm talking about what can you pin your hopes on? What do you see in the future going forward? And I think what Noureddin is saying is that we all saw the vision where it can go to. So that's what kept us on board. Now, I don't know, I don't watch United as closely as you guys, but from what I've seen, I don't see the vision. Okay, I know Ten Hag, yeah, I know what he's trying to do. I can see what he's trying to do. I don't see that. That's what I'm trying to say. For you to pin your hopes and desires and give him another year.
Nurabi, it's whether we play worse. Listen, 2 games this season. We played League Two Wigan, and then we played Newport. We didn't look out of place. Jarvis, am I lying? Those 2, that was our level. That was our level this season. Go ahead, Jarvis. I swear to God, they matched us in every way. This is League Two teams. They matched us.
talking about Ten Hag and what he has done wrong and what he's done right, and what type of tactic he has, and we talk about transfers, and we talk about injuries and player material and their level and Ten Hag's level. It's very hard to keep up for me. I think when analyzing Ten Hag's tactics, Mundo mentioned he couldn't see any tactics. I see tactics. I see what he's trying to do. As Nurabits mentioned too, you can see what Ten Hag is trying to do if you pay attention. But for me to understand if it's the players or if it's the manager's fault, it's not always obvious where everything went wrong. But Mundo mentioned one thing that I think is 100% right in. Ten Hag is not a great communicator, and I think that's one of his biggest problems, because he doesn't get his vision into the players' heads, and this is a big problem. Trying to tell them, and also speaking to the press, for us to actually understand what he's trying to do. Jurgen Klopp is an excellent communicator. He knows how to talk to the press. He has charisma. He always smiles, and and in a way he speaks genuine when he talks. So everybody loves Jurgen Klopp. Ten Hag, he doesn't have charisma. So everybody's on his back all the time, and we don't give him any slack. But going back to football and tactics, we try to play we try to play out from the back. We try to create overloads. We try to keep possession. We try to press man to man. We try to have a high press. We try to get high turnovers. We try to so this is we see it in bits and pieces all the time, but never consistently, and this is a big problem. And everybody is waffling here and there, and we don't do this and we don't do that, but you see it, but you don't see it consistently, and that's a big problem. And for me, it's not obvious that it's Ten Hag's tactics. I have a little small suspicion that it's on the players a lot of the time, but Ten Hag should be more direct and take and deal with it when the players are not doing as he expect. So for me, I think Ten Hag is not a great communicator. Same as Jarvis from Norway. It's a big problem sometimes.
Can I ask a question,
I'm sorry,
Jarvis?
Jarvis, but I totally reject that.
Jarvis, you're
I don't
doing
think
great.
it's just the players. I don't think it's just the players. I think it's his tactics. Yes, you already said it's the way he communicates, but I'd be confused if he communicated that way to me. When he comes out on the eve of the fucking Premier League and he says, I can't play the Ajax way. We're not asking you to play the fucking Ajax way. We're asking you to play football. And I'm sorry, structurally, the way we're set up, I have seen Sunday League teams set up better, Jarvis. I'm sorry. Sunday League team set up better. Somebody put a clip the other day on the Tens, man. This on the Tens team where there's a camera view from the top, and the way they played out. We don't play out from the back. We all look nervous. We don't play in midfield. We don't play through midfield. We look nervous. So I'm sorry to say, Erik Ten Hag's one guy, and actually, it is a disgrace to actually mention both names together, but it's Bielsa. Bielsa played man for man everywhere around the football pitch. 10 players, man for man. But I'm sorry, where Leeds got hold of you, they got hold of you. They bobbed you about. They didn't let you rest. They pressed and hurried you. Yes, did they take licks? Yes, they did. Especially the way we played against them against United. We just used to wait for them and then counter press them and then beat them when we had Ollie. But I'm sorry to say, I don't see any of it. And I said it from January. We do this.
What do you mean any of it? You see bits and pieces.
So what I see is this. I see shadow pressing. I see Bruno doing the headless fucking chicken run, right? I see that all we do is wait for the runners. Anytime we have a play against any team with any space behind them, we try to, at times it works. And the only game that I saw it work this season, the only game, was the second half against Aston Villa. Second half, and for me to only see it once, Jarvis, second half against Aston Villa, I saw halfway line football. I saw full, it's almost like in basketball terms, full court press. A full court press where everybody got in people's face. We won the ball back. We had more physicality. And actually, people think that we got behind Villa all the time. No, the second half, we didn't let them out. We did not let them out of their own half. They didn't come out. And I'm sorry, that's not enough. That is not enough. It's not
But
enough.
Nuruddin, what team is supposed to play this football? Is it the team where one member of the team was accused of beating up his girlfriend, or one other player is struggling because he has mental health issues, or one other player was arrested somewhere, or the other player is having this problem? Like, what team is supposed to produce this high intensity, well organized football? There's a problem.
Two questions. Two questions. Two questions about what's being said there. Look,
the manager's getting paid millions. Big up Johnny with a super chat.
Let's say
Let me
there
just
is.
get a super chat 1 second. The moment I saw these little bottle games, Man City in FA Cup final, and allows us to get that treble, I knew they don't care. Listen, I'm not saying the players are great. Don't get it twisted. But I'm sorry, somebody else, another manager, will be able to get something out of these players. But for me, it's not just the manager that needs to be sacked at the end of the season. It's also 5 or 6 of the first team.
All right, look. Do you like? Let's say everybody can see clearly what Erik Ten Hag is trying to do. Two questions.
I don't see it.
Just two questions. I'm irrespective. Let's just be conservative and say there is something vividly clear. It's not ambiguous. It's very clear exactly what we're trying to do. I'm not one that sees it. Two questions. Is it working?
No.
And do you like it?
No.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
A manager's job, a manager's remit. I want Antonio Conte as our next manager, but I have to concede that Postecoglou is getting more of a tune than Conte is out of some of these players. That goes back. Except for today. Except for today. But what I'm trying to say is the manager's responsibility is to G the players up, is to change the mentality as well as everything else. These all go back to the manager. You can't just play good football. You have to play good football. You have to get results. It has to be a team that is built on stern stuff. This is all part of the remit. And this is why I get scared when I hear names touted like Thomas Frank, Eddie Howe, De Zerbi. I'm not saying it won't be a success, but I am with reservation. This is a different ball game, Man United. It's not no low league bullshit. That's my problem with it. And I've got a question for Nura Beats. Who would you consider for the next manager of Liverpool currently? Give me a couple of names.
One name is from the league, Brighton's De Zerbi. And I wanna caveat, I have no ties with Brighton or anything. However, when he first came into Brighton, there were some players that weren't so in tune with what he wanted, and I've heard plenty of Lallana and Milner praise of the manager, which they say that the guy has a specific way of playing. If you're not on board, he would not hesitate to get rid of you. That's why he got rid of Trossard. I think it was in January last season. Trossard wasn't on board with what he wanted. Had no problem benching him and getting rid of him. The reason why he's not getting the results that he should be getting this season, number one, injuries. Number two, the games are coming thick and fast. They were in Europa for the first time.
Sold his midfield last season.
And he sold his midfield, yeah. So that's one manager I wish does not go to Man United, especially if he gets the backing from those higher ups into giving him what he really wants. He would definitely, even if he doesn't give you success, but he'll definitely build the foundations that another manager can take on. Another one that perhaps would be really good at United would probably be Inzaghi as well. That would probably be maybe a better option than De Zerbi, because he kind of comes from a defensive background, solidifies the defensive work, but also plays.
He was asking you for Liverpool.
This guy is trying to sabotage us. Say Inzaghi.
He's asking you for Liverpool. What?
Oh, for Liverpool?
Yeah, that's what he was asking.
Alonso.
You.
Oh yeah, Alonso, De Zerbi, and I'm investigating right now the guy from Sporting Lisbon, Amiram, and looking deeper into his stuff, because he's really doing quite well as well. But those two mainly, yeah. Alonso's obviously what he's doing is it's unbelievable. He could go the whole season with a treble and unbeaten, and that'll be unheard of. So that's crazy in all competitions, by the way. But yeah, De Zerbi is my red hot second. I know a lot of Liverpool fans give me slack for it. I've come out openly and said I would definitely consider. That'll be stupid if you don't consider De Zerbi.
Yeah, big up.
What about the German managers like Hansi Flick and Nagelsmann, or for example Thomas Frank? I know he's Danish, but
yeah, Thomas Frank as well. But I'm thinking it'll need someone. I know De Zerbi's got like a massive personality, and Alonso, he's loved and adored by Liverpool. Give him time. Thomas Frank, I really enjoy his football. I think he can push onto the next level because what he's doing with Brentford is amazing. But I think maybe the job is a bit too soon. I was hoping he maybe get like a job in the top, just that bracket just below the top 6, or maybe like those clubs on the fringes like a Tottenham or a Aston Villa. But yeah, right now obviously Alonso and De Zerbi is my two. But I would not hesitate to take on. I'll give time to Thomas Frank. I'll give time to, because these guys are guys with philosophies and working with not so like top players and then we give them the platform to perform at their level, the highest of that they can. So imagine what they can do with bigger players, and also background checks are important. Player mentality, what kind of like I don't want to say lineage, but what kind of like household he comes from. All of these makes a big difference. Is he someone a troublemaker? Is he troubled himself, or is he someone that's outshines or plays better than his circumstances? And these things are important that I think Man United will probably start getting right with the right sporting directors and whatnot.
Yeah, man, big up. Would you take Hansi Flick, Nura?
No, I wouldn't take Hansi Flick because I've got a little doubt after that the World Cup disaster with a really good talented team. The way that they did not play for him kind of put a little bit of doubt for me.
The fact that he won a treble.
He did win a treble, but I'm going to caveat that because Liverpool, we get the grief of winning it. They call it the Corona one. But truly his was the Corona one because there was no fans throughout the whole season. Until the last part of even actually the last part was all done as well.
The final was played in the Enter Stadium, remember?
Yeah.
Big up. Lincoln says Bumbaye Conte, as loved as he is by Hugh, what happened when you take Inzaghi instead? Inzaghi apparently doesn't even speak English. Personally, Nagelsmann or De Zerbi is a shout. I won't take Nagelsmann for me. I don't think Nagelsmann is for Manchester United.
Nagelsmann experiments a lot, so he'll be you need to have a whole load of patience for him.
Exactly.
He literally experiments.
Exactly.
I would entertain De Zerbi if you want me to answer him back. Inzaghi he's got some good things. Inter have got some really good things. The shape of the team, they're hard to break down, and they naturally play on the break. I watched them the other night against Atletico. They had their moments, but I don't know if that's the football some fans want. But I'm not only invested in football. You see, Nura Beats, I understand the kind of things you're saying, but by the same token, I feel that not every manager has the courage and the self-belief and the experience to actually go after Pep Guardiola and a Klopp if he was to remain in the league. This is why somebody like me looks at Antonio Conte. I see a big personality, big experience, not phased.
He's wearing a wig. He's wearing a wig. Antonio Conte is wearing a wig.
But he's got the courage to go. It's a winner. He doesn't want to waste time, and he has got clearly in a clear vision that he translates to all his players. Yes, Tottenham wasn't good, but Tottenham is eating managers and spitting them out like we are at the moment. It's not a great example. So that's my only concern with when we talk about for Man United, bearing in mind we're not in the position that you're in. We are not a club that is flying, that has a clear philosophy, the standards are set, the dressing room is set, the mentality is set, the winning is there. That's all there. So you can take an Alonso and a De Zerbi, and I feel they could hit the ground and they could maybe make a success of it. But I feel that Manchester United, where they are at this moment in time, I have a lot of fears and reservations. And I think we kind of fall into the fantasy of we're going to translate Girona football or Brentford football to Manchester United. And there are many deficiencies with those managers making that step up to this club, given where it's at. This is my fear with that. And that's why I look at the personality of the manager that I'm asking for.
Big up Mbaye. John A says they don't care about the club. We'll just talk to the players. We'll see it again tomorrow. They don't care about they only care about their brand and their salaries. That includes Ten Hag. Yeah, 100%. It's just bottlers for me. Absolute bottlers. Michael Inzaghi, go ahead. I think we've already know that you fancy Michael, if I'm not mistaken, Jarvis. Mbaye, who do you think should be Manchester United's next manager?
Antonio Conte.
And go ahead, without Mbaye, doubt. If you're there.
I'm there.
Listen, we'll come back to Mbaye. Jarvis, who would you take? To me, you know what? I think Hansi Flick needs another chance. I think international football is different. I think that German team, the chemistry is not there. I think that a lot of pressure to pick certain players for that team. I think getting 6 players out of this starting lineup, for me, because no point bringing another manager if you don't take 6 players out of it, and then get rid of the medical staff as well, and get rid of the coaches that all left behind. So clear out all the back room, take 5 players, and you know, I think Hansi Flick, I would give him a chance. I would, but De Zerbi is the guy that I want.
Yeah, in a way, Nuruddin, I agree with you. De Zerbi is a great shout. The thing with De Zerbi is he don't take any prisoners. You know, he wants to play his style, and I think sometimes, especially with this Man United squad, you need to be more pragmatic in a way. It will end in a airplane crash with him. I believe with this squad of players. So for us, I think De Zerbi is one level too high at the moment. In the future, maybe. Michel at Girona, he's been doing fantastic. I like a manager like him, but again, it's back to the players. What type of manager would suit this group of players? And we got to be real, you know, everybody talks about we need to sell 10 players, 15 players and bring in
No. To me, 6 are the first starting lineup.
I know. But when it comes to statistics on signings, or less than 50% is a success. So for us, if we need 10 players,
I'm sorry, Jarvis.
20 players.
I'm sorry, Jarvis. I've been told that they've got the world's experts, world's greatest Ineos. The quarter-sexuals have been told. I've been told that. So get the 6 players out, bring in 6 players that are going to that first 11.
Yeah, but basically that's 3 windows, 4, 8, 12.
No, Jarvis. No, Jarvis. They said that it's been done before. It can be done. It can be. Remember, I trust in Raniak. Raniak said, if you have the will, it can be done in 2 transfers. 2 transfers.
Yeah, okay.
Remember that. Go ahead, Sean. Sean.
Yeah.
Go on. No, finish your point, Jarvis. Go ahead.
No, just move on.
No, finish your point. Finish your point. Sorry.
I'm just saying we got to be careful what we want. You know, everybody wish to play tiki-taka, fantastic
I don't want
football and scoring goals and playing.
I don't want tiki-taka. I genuinely, I'm not. To me, what I'm looking for is possession with purpose. I want possession that direct towards it. I need players who are tactically can pass the ball to each other. So technical and tactically, and have physicality. They're the 3 remits. I want a coach that can coach the team physically, tactically, technically. That's what I need. Those are the 3. I'm not about keeping the ball for keeping the ball's sake.
You know, we agree when it comes to football in a way, Nuruddin, but we speak on different things, aspects of the game. But I agree, and I think we need to build slowly, and you know, a rebuild takes time. For me, if I was the
I'm sorry, Jarvis, but the rebuild, I've been through a rebuild for the past 11 fucking years.
Yeah, but if we are doing this rebuild for real, we need to build from the bottom and build up. Now you're signing a big name player, but suddenly we throw in Ronaldo and think he will come in and save the day. It's not how you build a squad. If you look at Dan Ashworth, how he did it in Newcastle, he brought in Dan Burn, he brought in a lot of like English players with the Premier League experience, and I would like us to do the same. I've been shouting out Anthony Robinson from Fulham as a fullback, Anthony Gordon as a winger, Brantwaite, Gerald Bowen, players like that. Premier League proven, high work rate, strong physicality, comes in and build a foundation of the team, and then we can bring in the icing on the cake to make it better. But it will take time.
Yeah, definitely. Mundo, are you there? No, it's Mundo.
You know, I'm still here, yeah.
Yeah, Mundo, who you having for Manchester United manager next season?
I honestly think we need. I don't want to take a risk. I think with Erik Ten Hag, I've been burnt. I haven't got what I expected, and I don't think many fans have. So I want someone who's a little bit more experienced. I do like Inzaghi. I have to say, I do like Inzaghi.
Apparently, he doesn't speak English, Mundo.
He can learn.
Fucking hell. Learning on the job.
Yeah, learning on the job. Yeah, I like Inzaghi, but I think don't underestimate Flick as well, because don't forget, Flick was the guy who, he brought through Musiala and these guys into Bayern Munich, into the team. So, he's good with young players. So someone like Flick, someone like Inzaghi, I think, because you also need a strong manager who's able to turn, because some of these players need to be turfed. And we can't just rely on Ineos to come in. Because don't forget, the Glazers are still there, and they've still got their favourites as well, the ones that bring in the revenue, right? Wow. So you need a manager that's going to come in who's brave enough to say, just like what Pep did with Cancelo, for example, and those, or Leroy Sané, these guys. He's going to come in and say, Rashford's not for me. I don't give a fuck if he's selling shirts. He's on the bench, right? So you can either have that asset on the bench or you sell him. We need someone who's got the balls to do that, because the problem with Ten Hag is, yes, he's got favourites, but he decided to build his team around Bruno Fernandes and Marcus Rashford. And now he's reaping the benefits of doing that, because they only play football one way. And if you want to play football that's sustainable, then you can't build your team around those two players. And there's many others in that squad that need to go. Luke Shaw's another one. You can't have a fullback that's injured all the time. Doesn't matter if he looks aesthetically good on the football. He can't keep fit. There's no attacking output, and he's a defensive liability. So we need someone. And this Ineos project, what people also have to remember is there's a lot of power and ego in the room, a lot of experience. We don't know how these guys are going to work together. So I want a manager. I don't want that and an experienced manager, because I think that's a recipe for disaster. So you need at least somebody who has got a bit of football now, so there's a bit of experience, right? And if they're in that situation where things are not necessarily going well at board level, things are still bedding in, people are still getting to know one another and how they work with one another, that at least you've got a steady hand in charge of the football team. We don't want an inexperienced guy, because and I think that's part of the problem with Erik Ten Hag, is that he's used to working in a stable environment. He's used to working at Ajax, where 90% of all the behind the football matters are dealt with by executives and other people within the club. He's coming to Manchester United, and he's had to be a director of football. He's had to decide on transfers. So this is not me making excuses for him, because I still think that from coaching perspective, he should be doing better. But he's also had to deal with all those things as well. And there's no guarantee that anyone coming in is going to get... We're all banking on Ashworth and these guys coming in and resolving all of our issues, but there's no guarantee, because the Glazers are still there. So there's no guarantee that whatever they want to implement is going to work. So I want to make sure that whoever comes in is experienced. Inzaghi's working at Inter Milan. You know about the issues at Inter Milan. They have to sell their best players, got financial issues, there's a Champions League final. They're going to win Serie A. They've not won Serie A in years. He got scumbagged by Simeone, but as many people would have said, Inter, we're looking good in the Champions League. So I think he's got the right kind of experience. I like the way that Inter play. So yeah, Inzaghi for me is my number one pick.
Who is it? Who would you take then? Sorry, I missed that. You dropped off for a minute.
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, no, I was saying
Mundo.
Inzaghi is my number one pick.
And then a second?
I would say Hansi Flick.
De Zerbi for me. De Zerbi is my number one pick for me personally because that guy coaches footballers. He literally tells them where to stand on the football pitch. He's literally coaching them, do this, do that. And he's got incredible record of improving players. We need that. We need that. But without that, the players who are not going to listen to him need to get the fuck out of the football club. And that's where you need a strong structure behind the manager. Listen, Sean, I know that we've been here. Talk to me. Give me the score quickly. Let's go around quickly. We've been on our live for an hour and a half, so let's go quickly. Score tomorrow.
2-1 United.
Right, Bumbaye.
Yeah, you need, boys, it's all these names, right? You need Antonio Conte. And tomorrow, we're not going to win tomorrow's game. That's all I'm going to say. I can't see it. I hope I'm wrong, but it could be a disaster. But we're getting beat.
What score? What score is it? 3-1 Liverpool? 3-0 Liverpool? Actually, we've not scored against them for about 6-7 games, by the way. Can I tell you that? We've not scored against Liverpool in about, I don't know.
I don't think.
5 games,
you know what?
If
We beat them the last time we met them in the FA Cup. 3-2.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for 2-0 Liverpool. I don't think we're gonna score tomorrow.
Cool. Okay. Go ahead, Bombay. Mundo, go ahead. What does the score's going to be tomorrow?
I think there'll either be one goal, so 1-0 to Liverpool, or 2-1 Man U. I don't think we're going to get battered as people anticipate. I just hope that
Yes, Mundo.
I hope that Nunes is tomorrow. That misses open goals and stuff like he normally does.
He bags them as well, He bags
I
them
love
as
him,
well.
I think they've got a player there. I really do.
What a player, yeah. Go ahead, Jarvis.
Yeah, I think tomorrow Ten Hag will set up like the 4-2-2. He's been doing this in the last couple of games. Højlund is not ready to start yet. And Mason Mount will not be starting. I'm not sure if even Wan-Bissaka will be starting. So I think we will go for the, let's call it the regular 4-2-2, and play with the box midfield. Try to go man to man against Liverpool's midfield, and hopefully it will be enough. Yeah, but this is what Ten Hag is going for. I'm almost 90% sure. But we will see.
Dangerous. That'll be
dangerous.
And tomorrow we'll see if Kobe's actually next to Casemiro. I'll be there watching it live. I saw it against Everton. He wasn't. Casemiro was on his own a lot of the time in the build-up play and without the ball as well. So we'll see if he plays a double pivot tomorrow.
Well, the pivot is never flat. It's always angled. That's the thing. So it's hard to see.
I'm saying to you in terms of he's always ahead after when we look the ball. It's always Casemiro in no man's land by himself. Nora Beats, talk to me. What do you think the score's going to be tomorrow? What did he say, Jarvis? What do you think the score's going to be?
I think Liverpool will win it 2-1.
Nora Beats?
Yeah, I think it's a Liverpool win. It's not going to be easy, but I think it'll be 3-1 at the end with maybe 2 late goals.
Okay. Wow.
I think Jamie Wayne is pretty much saying what my vibe. I'm just giving you a score. That's pretty much it there, Jamie. Well done. And big up Stephanie Grip, by the way.
I think.
Oh, he's
gone to start praying.
Yeah. John, did you give your prediction?
don't know what the hell is going on. YouTube.
2-1 United.
Listen, I say
nice.
I'm only taking a win.
Listen, I say,
That's the spirit, Sean. I like that.
amount of shots that we've been facing. If Ten Hag goes for it and goes man against man, I think the game could be over by halftime. Believe me, guys. If we give Liverpool the shots that we give, the amount of time inside the area that we give, because it's not just the shots that we conceded, it's about ball in possession inside our box. Unless, to me, Onana has the game of his career. Forget the game of his career tomorrow. His life, the game of his life, for us to get something from the game tomorrow. Because I don't see it. If he goes with his 3
I'll bet money on Onana making at least 4 saves tomorrow. No, I'm willing to bet money.
This build up, then I don't. Honestly, they'll have 7,000 or 8,000 Liverpool scouts in there tomorrow. They'll be there fighting full of blood. They'll get the whole stand. They'll be there fighting for blood.
Then it's up to you and Bumaye and Nuruddin to
No, we're gonna
them
sing.
out.
Listen, we always sing. The best. Well, Liverpool are battering us. One thing we don't do. That's one game. All the fans understand. They're never gonna outsing us. So we go.
That's it.
The team might batter us, but they're never gonna outsing us. So
United fans, once the whistle blows, forget all your grievance, all the problems you have with Ten Hag, and just believe for 90 minutes. That's all I'm asking from all of us.
Yeah, well
suspend belief.
I promise you, if the goals go in the first half, first 20 minutes, 1, 2 go in, 3, the place is gonna turn to library, and you'll see everybody like that sitting there with their phones out. Finally, because you've got internet at Old Trafford now.
Yeah, no, nobody should be angry. If that happens, I promise you, I'll just be laughing because I'm desensitized. Which is why I can be this hype. I don't feel anything.
Yeah, go ahead, Jarvis.
I just want to have a question to Nurovic about the Liverpool starting lineup tomorrow, because they played a game against Sparta Prague just a couple of days ago, and they started with Endo and Robertson, Szoboszlai, Salah, Nunez, Gakpo, all of them play the game. So do you think Klopp will rotate, or will he start his strongest team?
Yeah, he'll start his strongest. Endo got 45 minutes. Salah got a full game, which he shouldn't have, but someone else got injured. One of the kids got injured. So I think it will be Kelleher in goal, Bradley right back, Kwanzaa, Van Dijk, and Robertson, and then in the middle it will be Szoboszlai, Endo, and McAllister, who had a full rest on that day, and then it'll be Salah, Nunez, and Diaz up front.
What's the best front 3 starters for Liverpool for you?
Those are the best at the moment in form. That's available. If Jota was there, yeah, he'll be in there.
Instead of who?
Instead of Diaz, we'll put Nunez on the left and Jota up top.
Okay.
No Gakpo.
No Gakpo. Yeah, Gakpo unfortunately lost a lot of confidence when Klopp tried to play him in a third position in midfield. And he hasn't recovered since. So,
yeah.
So, yeah.
He's a bench warmer.
Yeah.
Bench warmer, mate. But it is. He comes on, tries to get something. Anyway, listen, big up to everybody. Free Palestine, stop the genocide, end the apartheid, fuck Zionism for the racist ideology it is. And if you support it too, fuck you too. And your record label, and your staff, and everybody else. So, yeah, we keep it 100 on this channel. Fuck the fucking bastards who are raping and pillaging people in the Congo, people who are profiting, the war profiteers in Sudan and anywhere else, in Tigray and Ogaden and all those regions, and all those people oppressed. You're welcome here. We don't give a fuck if a shadow banned or demonetized. It is what it is. We will always speak up for we would always speak up for the people who are oppressed throughout the world. Fuck the Tories, fuck Labour, fuck them all, man. At the end of the day, it's on free Palestine. And big up to all those human-loving people around the world coming out for the Palestinian cause, but also coming out for the Lebanese cause, the Sudanese cause, the Congolese cause, and every other cause. Love and light, people. Big up. So let's go. Bowley 77. Make sure you catch Nura Beats at Nura Beats as well on Twitter, and make sure you check out his channel at Sean Thomas. The podcast is called How We See Things. How We See Things. So it's available across all podcasts where you can get all the available podcasts. So make sure you check that out. Jarvis is always on Man UFC Realist TV. Mondays, 9 o'clock, Jarvis Corner. Check that out. He'll be back here tomorrow night. Bumbaye, I'm taking his little ass to the game tomorrow, getting him a decent view, quite high up, so he can see what's going on. He'll be back, hopefully. We'll be back here tomorrow night, properly around 9 o'clock, 9:30 for the match reaction. So big up to everybody. Love and light. And yeah, if you want to follow me, that guy, Red Devil, Mr. Structure, there you are. Mighty Mundo, he'll start tweeting, is he back here? Let me just get Mighty Mundo back. Yeah, he's back here. Mundo, last word for you, last word of the show. Go on. Any hope tomorrow?
A sliver of hope.
How? Where do you see this sliver, guys? What? What have you been watching?
Because this is football, Nuruddin. Anything can happen.
Football. Listen, if Manchester United if Manchester United turn up with the energy they had against Crystal Palace in the second half, it's the only time. That was in December. It's the only time I saw it this season at home at Old Trafford. If they turn up for 70 minutes of that game, Manchester United might have a chance of winning the game. That's not there.
We don't need 70 minutes. We just need 5 or 10.
To beat Liverpool.
We need a moment.
I'm sorry, Sean.
We need a couple of moments. We need to take our chances when we inevitably have them.
This is where you're wrong. You don't watch Liverpool this season, Sean. You need at least 70 to 80 minutes performance against Liverpool. Man. Sorry.
Mundo, are you coming on tomorrow?
Yeah, Mundo will be here, hopefully.
I'm really looking forward.
If we concede less than 4 goals, I'll be on.
Nah, man, come on. I'm looking forward to getting.
So he's going to be on now, because that's not going to happen.
No, bro, I can't lose. Either we get popped, or either we win, or I want to see you boys lose your shit, man. Come on, you've got to come.
No. If we concede more than 4, you will not be hearing from me again this season.
No, man, come on. You can't deny the panel what I get on WhatsApp, please. No, you're coming on.
All right, I'll come on.
Yo, big up everybody. Love and light. I'd like to welcome, thank Nura Beats for always getting the graphics. He doesn't do any charge. He won't let me give him any money for it, for the thumbnail. So big up to Nura Beats, man. Always appreciate it.
Pleasure.
The only thing that's wrong with him, it happens to be the enemy.
I know, man. What a nice guy. What a shame.
It happens to be, but nobody's perfect in this world, people. Nobody's perfect in this world. But big up, love and light. Big up to everybody who got involved in the chat. Big up to all those who got in the super chats as well. Appreciate that, tip. Appreciate John K. And big up Lincoln as well. Love and light, people. Win, lose, draw. Glazers out. Jim the Ratcliffe out. F you to all the quarter sexual toxic positives. Positive sexuals, you can do one. And we say free Palestine with our chest and with our hearts. Love and light. Take care, people. Love, light, and liberation always. And you know what? Solidarity with Diane Abbott and all the black women in this country, because the Tories and Labour can go and suck on one. Peace. Take care, people. And YouTube, you can do one as well with your shadow banning and your shit. Peace. Love and light. Take care, people. Good night.
Oh, man.